At 9:12 on a rain-black September night, Mara Vale came home to Alder Street, where the houses sat close together like people sharing a secret. Her porch light buzzed with a sickly yellow glow. The air smelled of wet cedar, old dust, and something metallic beneath it, like a coin held too long in the mouth. Mara was an ER nurse. 20 years of broken bones, overdoses, and men who swore they were fine until they weren't had made her calm in the face of panic. She was tired mostly, and lonely enough to mistake silence for safety. Her husband, Daniel, had left a note on the kitchen counter. Gone to the coast. Don't wait up. That was odd. Daniel hated the coast. She set down her bag and noticed the radio was on upstairs. Not music, static. It crackled in short bursts, then formed a thin mechanical voice. Attention, household unit. Please remain calm. Please remain calm. Mara stopped in the hallway. The house gave a tiny shudder as if a truck had passed outside. Then came 3 soft knocks from the bedroom. No one answered. She opened the door. A man stood by the bed in a dark raincoat, holding a hammer with a red handle. His face was ordinary in the worst possible way, washed out, forgettable, almost polite. Behind him on the dresser sat an object Mara had never seen before, a small chrome box with a blinking green eye and a cracked label that read HomeGuard Model 77. The man smiled. "Your husband said you'd try to fight." The hammer came up. Mara blocked the first blow with her forearm, all instinct and pain. The second struck the lamp, exploding glass across the carpet. She drove her shoulder into him, and they hit the floor hard enough to rattle the walls. The thing on the dresser began speaking faster, its voice slipping and warping like a bad recording. "One occupant remains. Initiating defense protocol." Mara froze for half a second. Not from fear of the man, from the sound of that machine saying it knew them. The intruder recovered and lunged. They crashed through the bedroom, down the hall, into the kitchen where the refrigerator light filled everything with a cold, surgical glow. Mara grabbed his wrist, twisted, and saw the inside of his sleeve. A tattoo. Not a sigil, as she first thought, but a set of numbers and the letters O-R-E-D Gwyn. Her stomach tightened. She knew that name. 3 weeks ago, Daniel had come home pale and shaking after a week of late-night calls. He'd said very carefully that a man from his old work had offered him easy money. A problem solver. A man with a machine that could listen through walls, track routines, and make accidents look natural. Mara had laughed then. Daniel hadn't. Now he was dead quiet upstairs, or gone, or hiding. She couldn't tell which frightened her more. Gwyn slammed the hammer toward her head. Mara ducked, seized him around the neck, and used everything the ER had taught her about leverage, breath, and the terrible fragility of the human body. He fought like a cornered animal. The chrome box on the dresser rolled into the hall behind them, its green eye still blinking, still recording. "Tell me who sent you," Mara gasped, locking her arms tighter, "and I'll call an ambulance." Gwyn smiled through the pressure, bloody and calm. "He already did." The house lights went out. In the dark, the radio changed stations by itself and began to play Daniel's voice. Not a recording Mara remembered. A newer one. Whispered, ragged, terrified. "If you're hearing this, Mara, don't let the machine finish the call." A final mechanical click sounded from somewhere in the wall. Then the HomeGuard box spoke one last time, in Daniel's own voice. "Household unit reset complete." By the time police arrived, Ed Gwyn was on the kitchen floor, the chrome box still blinking beside him like a patient eye. Daniel was never found. The note on the counter had been typed on a machine no one in the house owned. Mara kept the box in an evidence locker for 6 months before it disappeared. After that, every time she walked into a silent room, she heard the same thing beneath the quiet. a soft green beep, and someone she trusted saying, from just beyond the dark, that the system was ready again.